What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and in today's video we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning this weekend's British title fight at welterweight. This fight is taking place in the French Riviera, Monte Carlo, between the British champion Conah Walker taking on the undefeated Olympian in Pat McCormack. Guys, before I continue, I want to say thank you to all the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been with me since day one. If you haven't already, could you please remember to hit subscribe? Could you also like this video? Hit the notification button on my channel so you never miss one of my daily live streams. Also become a member of our Johnny Says Boxing VIP Insider Professional Betting Discord. That link is pinned in the comments. Click that to find out more. Speaking of that Discord, I have 3 levels of membership. This video is from a level 2 member. He asked me weeks ago to feature this British firefight. So this video and breakdown and analysis of Walker versus McCormack is for you. All right, guys, we have a massive week of fights all across the board, from boxing to the UFC. We'll get to MMA later on in the week. To remind all you guys, that Discord isn't just boxing and MMA, NFL, NBA, racing, soccer, hockey, so definitely get involved. We're on quite the hot streak with our NFL and NBA prop parlays, as well as continuously eating with our boxing channel. So right now what we're gonna do is break down this very fun firefight between the undefeated Pat McCormack and the British champion Conah Walker. Walker is a savage. This is a guy with a very fan-friendly style, on his front foot, takes one to give one, always in exciting fights. Although he's not undefeated, he has a handful of losses. He's never been stopped. He does have that British Commonwealth belt around his waist. He's taking on a guy in the UK that some would say has been groomed to become a world champion. We know that one of those belts at 147 is held by Lewis Crocker, a guy that Conah Walker fought very tough. When you think about McCormack, he's a guy who feels that he would have handled Crocker. He thinks he's going to handle Conah Walker. He's going to be the more technical boxer. He could crack. He's going to be the less experienced, so there will be questions that are answered. Will this step up be too much for Pat McCormack, or has he been bred all along for these bright lights? In this video, what we're going to do is break down both fighters' careers. We're going to talk a little bit about how they go about their business, and like always, stay tuned to the end of the video because that's where I'm going to be going over the current Las Vegas odds, and I'll be telling you where to put your money. Guys, Conah Walker is coming off 2 very impressive stoppage victories, one over Harry Scarf and the other over Liam Taylor. This guy is never out of a fight, and if you're not bringing your lunch pail, if your cardio isn't in place, if your mind isn't switched on, he's going to get one over on you, and more as of late, he's going to stop you. This makes Conah Walker one of the UK's most exciting fighters, and he's only a fight or 2 away of his ultimate goal of fighting for a world title. In his opponent, the guy has more prestige in terms of an amateur background. Say what you will, silver medalist at the Olympics. Pat McCormack is a guy who feels that he does everything better than Conah Walker. He feels that he's going to use that front foot pressure style against Walker. He thinks he's going to be able to counter him and use his power to eventually get him out of there. So this is going to be a very interesting fight. Is Pat McCormack ready for this professional style? Is his boxing acumen, his skill set going to be enough to get past the very tough Conah Walker? We'll see. These odds are pretty wide if you ask me. Before we get into the odds and we talk a little bit about where to put your money, I do want to take a closer look at the British champion's career and see what he's been up to. Guys, Conah Walker is 16-3-1. Of his 16 wins, he has 7 of them by knockout. Of his 3 losses, he has never been stopped. Out of 2,662 fighters in the world at 147, he's ranked number 35. He's fought a career total of 127 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 44% career knockout to win ratio. The 30-year-old Brit is an orthodox fighter, and he lives in Wolverhampton, West Midlands, United Kingdom. We last saw him fight Liam Taylor, 28-2, stopped him in the 7th. Harry Scarf, 13-3, stopped him in the 11th. Ritson, 23-4, won a UD in the 10th. Crocker, 19-0, lost to UD in the 10th. Germain, 9-0, stopped him in the third. In his most recent loss, few fights ago, and Lewis Crocker, he went the distance with him. That is a fight that he's taking into this fight, all things considered. We just saw Lewis Crocker become a world champion with his win over Paddy Donovan. So you have to think a guy in Conah Walker is comfortable with his style, he's confident in his skill set, and he feels that the lack of experience in his opponent, McCormack, is going to be his undoing. He feels that McCormack won't be able to handle that pressure, and he's going to melt under the bright lights. This is going to be something to watch. One of my major issues with Conah Walker is his defense, or lack thereof at times. His willingness to engage in a firefight. At the same time, this is why his fans love him, and this is why this fight was made. We'll see if that durability holds up and continue on his winning ways with his hopes of becoming a world champion. Right now, let's take a look at the former Olympian and see what he's been up to in his pro career. Pat McCormack is 8-0. Of his 8 wins, 6 of them come by stoppage. Out of 2,662 fighters in the world at 147, he's ranked number 36. He's fought a career total of 45 pro rounds and carries into the ring a 75% career knockout to win ratio. The 30-year-old Brit is a 5'8" orthodox fighter. He was born in Sunderland, but calls Washington, Tyne and Ware, United Kingdom, home. We last saw him fight Miguel Parra, 25-5, stopped him in the 9th. Davies Jr., 24-5, stopped him in the 6th. Herrera, 16-3, won a UD in the 10th. Dixon, 14-4, stopped him in the 4th. Sochi, 15-7, stopped him in the 8th. So when you look at his resume, Parra, Davies, he's only 8-0, doesn't even have 50 pro rounds, but he hasn't really had an easy slate to get to where he's gone. This will only be his 9th pro fight, and my hesitation lies in a sort of pattern that we've seen over the last year in professional boxing. We've seen these Olympians come into these massive fights, these guys with under 15 pro fights, fighting these veterans, and the Olympians being these huge favorites, and time again, we've seen upsets. We saw Frankie Rod come to the UK and beat Galal Yafai. We saw just recently in Turkey, Alberbadar Ghazi being a massive favorite against Jazza Dickens, and Jazza upsetting the odds. We saw it in France with Sumi Umaha. So my hesitation is just that repetitive pattern of behavior. We've seen this. Conah Walker being a massive underdog here, I think is a bit unfair. Pat McCormack, if we're looking at things technically under a microscope, he's going to be the more sound fighter. Doesn't have a lot of pro experience, but the kid could crack, and styles make fights. Stylistically, when we see how Conah likes to operate and we match this with the Olympian, it's going to make for an exciting matchup. There's a prop bet that I really like in this fight. You're going to have to tune into my live streams to get that prop, and you're going to have to join the Discord to get all of my method of victories. Right now, I do want to take a closer look at those Las Vegas odds. Guys, remember, I do go live every single day, so make sure you hit the notification button and you never miss it. In this Stats Don't Lie video series, you guys are only going to get my money line prediction. So all right, guys, wherever you are in the world, let's pull out our betting apps. Remember Australia, I have switched over to Bet365 because Sportsbet, my former book, the draw ruins your entire ticket. We just saw this take place this past weekend. We saw a draw, and fortunately for us, using Bet365, our tickets stayed live. I'm talking about that Cameron Vong rematch fight. So right now on the money line, Conah Walker, the veteran, the British champion, plus 550 dog. 100 on Walker gets you your money back, plus 550 bucks. McCormack is the favorite, $1.11. 100 on McCormack gets you your money back, plus $11. The odds makers are showing zero respect for Conah Walker. Is he a live dog? Yes. Are these odds too wide in my opinion? Yes. I think it should be more like a 2 or 3 to 1, but the bookies say differently. It's more like a 5 to 6 to 1. They must not like that defense on Conah Walker, how often he gets hit in relation to the power that Pat McCormack and the skill set he's bringing into this fight. Right now on the money line, I'm going to take the Olympian. I feel he's ready for this moment. I think his class is going to be too much. I think his power is going to be too much, and I think that he's going to get Conah Walker walking onto something. In order to get my prop bet, because there is a juicy one in this, you're going to have to join the Discord. Guys, this is not an echo chamber. This is a fun firefight. Like I said, I feel the odds are a bit off. In the comment section below, let me know who you're rolling with. Is it going to be and still for Conah Walker or and new for Pat McCormack? Also, guys, massive week in the UFC. We have that massive card in the United States, Pitbull versus Roach. Alamhanale is taking on Lara for the world title at 160. We have another massive card as well in Australia, headline with Jaya Pataya. So stay tuned to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one.